Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to another video. Today we are here for episode number 41 of Goattville building, and it's been a while since we made a building episode, but I figured it's been about time. It's been nearly a month since we've last made one, and I haven't had that much progress in between episodes, and I figured I should finally do some building on camera because I haven't done that in quite a while. But in between episodes, nothing too much has changed. What's this over here? Oh, it's just the way the sugar cane looked. But I haven't done much in between episodes, or like nothing too massive at least. So if we go over here towards the jungle area of the zoo, I added in the birdhouse. And I didn't actually expect to get all of this done at once, but you know, I just sort of did it within the course of a couple days, and it actually turned out quite nice. It's a bit of an obscure structure. I didn't put too much thought into the planning. I just had some ideas and threw them together, so that's why we have just this weird, you know, box of a building, but has certain circular features to it with this little glass bit right there. So yeah, probably could have done a little bit better on the planning, but it actually turned out quite nice. I think it fits quite well once it's buried in all the trees and such. But on the outside, you can see, you know, obviously the massive glass half circle up there, or like a quarter circle up there. And over here on this wall, there's just a massive window that's covered by trees. So I guess that's not too important. And then over here, we just have a little depiction of the parrots. I just thought that would be a nice thing to have right there, because I was originally just going to have this be a bare wall so we can add in some interior details. But I just decided to put that there, so hey, that turned out quite nice. Don't really have to worry about that one since it's off in the corner. Over here, this is the back entrance. The front entrance is down by the glass. So right here, this is probably mostly just an exit. It's probably what it'd mostly be used for. And up here we have some very strange statues of some birds. I tried my best to make some bird statues, but we got one right here that's just sat looking out, and then the other one with its beak pointed up. So I tried my best with those, and I think they turned out alright. It, you know, fills up the space, gives it a nice lovely little touch to it. And then down here, this wall is just pretty simple. And then on this side of the road, we're going to have the panda enclosure. And the pandas will have something rather similar in size to the ocelots right here next to it. And then up here towards the top, we're going to have a building, you know, to access their indoor enclosure, because the pandas, as well as the polar bears, are going to be like the two notable exhibits here in the zoo. So we should put some good emphasis in terms of visitor accessibility to checking them out. But let's look at the birdhouse. I think the interior looks quite nice. We have these little doors which lead in, and then we just have this nice simulated jungle environment. No closed off enclosures for them. It's all just open air. But the problem with the birds that I did not realize is that they're very still. They don't really move that much. So we got a variety of birds scattered around here, all the 5 different variants of parrots you can get. But they just sit there. I thought they'd be flying around, you know, as they normally do in the nature. It looks like this one decided to jump off his post probably right up there to go for a little bit of a swim, but aside from that, no one's really moving, which is a bit strange. Well, actually, I think they are moving. I don't think I would spawn 3 of them all close to each other. But that's a bit obscure why they're not flying as much as I want. And then we just got simple jungle decorations scattered around the place. I think it looks quite nice the way this this path goes up with the tree line. I think very good. And then over here towards the waterfall, I actually love the way that waterfall turned out. We have Klaus the bird right here, and you can take one of these music discs out and put it in the jukebox, and you'll just start dancing. And he seems to dance a whole lot quicker than all the other parrots that I've seen in the other videos. But yeah, he's just chilling right there, having a good time. Should we leave that on? Yeah, sure, I'll just leave that on for him. He seems to enjoy it. And then over here, just outside of it, we have another restroom, because it's been quite a while since we've had one over here in this part of the zoo. And then moving down a little bit, I finished the llama enclosure. I'm not too sure if I mentioned this in the last episode, but I think I was just sort of getting started with it in the last time, but actually no, I think I did show it in the last episode. But here it is, typical, you know, sort of hill-like enclosure for the llamas. And then outside of the llamas, in the remainder of the mountain-style area. We have some of it done. Actually, yeah, I think all of it really. Over here is the mushrooms, the very, the very obscure feature of this zoo. But I figured, you know what, it'd be a nice little interesting touch to it in comparison to all the other realistic sort of animals that we see. Actually, not really realistic because the slimes and all the stuff in the cave. But this was a really fun little enclosure to build because I've never had to build any sort of, what's this called? Like just a mushroom biome, I suppose. We just got a whole bunch of cows scattered around. I gave them, you know, Stewie, because like mushroom stew. And then, I don't know why, I just gave them a bunch of random names. Vladimir. Yeah, just whatever first name came to my mind. With all of them. But yeah, they're just chilling right here. Nice little, water right here to, you know, give the idea that it's an island, like they typically are. But over here, this is a little closed off area. This is for the foxes, which hopefully will come sometime soon. They're on PC, but they have not yet made it to this version. But we have the enclosure all set up. There's a whole area dedicated to them so that when they do eventually arrive, I just realized there's a mistake right there. So then when they do arrive, they will have a place to go in right away. And then beyond that, over here, this will be where we're starting our new project, but beyond here is where we're going to have a little path which leads down to the polar area, or the tundra, I guess, where we'll have the polar bears, the wolves, and snow golems. And then this path will lead across the road to the other part of the zoo, which I will get to probably like in a year or something like that, because after this section of the zoo, I'm going to move on to something else. And then over on that side is where we'll have the end and the aquarium. And I think that's all that's going to be over there, yeah. But this is what we're working on right now. This is the nether. It's going to have 4 different species in here. And I'm just going to start planning it out. It's probably going to be pretty big, so I might just be able to get like the front side of it all done and the interior all planned out. And then hopefully by the next video I'll have it all finished. And we'll probably start with the other stuff soon. We'll be quickly on our way of finishing the zoo, because I've been doing this for like well over a month now, and I kind of want to get on to something else, and my views are quite telling me the same. So yeah, I'll just go through and plan it all out. Hopefully I can get it, you know, somewhat more interesting, a little bit better planned out than the cave did. So yeah, I'll get right on that. Here we are. I got all of it planned out. I went through actually a couple of designs through this, but I think I've come out with a plan that I actually think is quite nice. A whole lot different than the original cave design, because this path is circular. The cave was just a straight line through. But I also think that these enclosures will be a whole lot bigger and also a whole lot more interesting. So on the outside, yeah, I'm pretty sure you already saw this. We're gonna have like you know, brick, because you know it's gonna be the nether and bricks are red. That would be a pretty nice fit right there. But on the inside, I just decided to go with this typical stone brick floor with some concrete on the sides just for some additional detail. Just, you know, a dull floor to bring out all the, you know, interesting nether landscapes that we're going to be having in here. But you sort of come in through here and then go off to the right. And then this will sort of take you onto a little bridge, and you will look over this enclosure right here, which is where we'll have the zombie pigmen and the wither skeletons. Just sort of out here, because, you know, as long as they're, you know, hidden away down here towards the bottom, they're not gonna be able to attack the guests at all. So yeah, this one will be sort of an open air enclosure, which is not anything like what we had in the other one. And then you'll sort of come down here off the bridge, and then it'll go back to you know, typical sort of glass, you know, faced enclosures. And right here is where we'll have the blazes. They'll just be flying around in here. They don't require too much space, even though they are a flying creature. So yeah, they'll just be chilling in here. It should be quite nice. And then over here will be the magma cubes. They take up like the majority of the space in here, just because they can get so big, and they're pretty much like the same size as the slimes. And they have I think they have the largest enclosure in this entire zoo so far, maybe aside from the birds, but yeah, this is what they will have. And I was going to have the ghast. That was my planning, but after much consideration, actually probably didn't even take that much consideration, I figured the ghast was just far too massive. And I came up with this like a couple weeks ago, but I just want to show you this. My original plan was to have the ghast and to put it in a building you know, to make the Nether something around the size of that, you know, around the size of this museum, which is considerably large, but it's still, you know, believable. It's nothing too crazy, but, you know, a proper size for a ghast enclosure is actually something more like the train station, in order for them, you know, to look like they're flying around naturally. So I'm just going to spawn in a ghast right here just so you can see that there is absolutely no way that we're going to be able to keep them inside the zoo. So I think these are the largest ones here in the game. So they just go in there and they just start flying around, and maybe it's a little bit bigger than they need, but still, it's like you would probably need something around this size. And I guess I shouldn't keep you flying around too much. I don't think you could cause any damage, but I guess we'll just do that just to get you out of the way. But anyway, let's actually get back to the building, because I'm sure this video's already gone past 10 minutes. On the interior, it's just mostly going to have Nether-like theme, like you've actually gone there. And perhaps we'll have a portal somewhere just as a little detail or something. Actually, I'm not going to get to the interior just now. I want to get the exterior done. And we're going to have it be like a nice palace-looking theme, like a castle. So yeah, we're going to build up these 3 little pillars here at the entrance. We're going to have them all bridged together, possibly have some statues at the top, and then this wall around the perimeter is mostly just going to be bricks, nothing too special. And then also over here, you might notice that this wall cuts very close to the original path, but because originally I was going to have something here, I was going to split it up like 1, 2, 3, 4, but then I just decided to combine these two so that this area can remain as open as possible, so that the path can go in line with this towards the tundra area. So yeah, that's why I did that. But anyway, I suppose I've been talking for too long. I should get on to designing all of this. So I guess I could do a little time lapse, because I don't usually do that, and those are pretty nice. I'll be able to put some original Minecraft music over it. So yeah, I guess I'll just start getting to it. Now, I don't know exactly what I was expecting, but this definitely surprises me. I knew I wanted something like a castle. This is definitely not exactly what I had in mind, but I just started building something, kept going with it, and I just realized, oh, I forgot to bring those down. But I just started building it. The one thing led to another, and now it's all finished, and it actually looks kind of awesome. So I think I'm gonna keep it. I think it's a pretty good design. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, you see that building and you know it's the Nether. I was originally going to put a sign out front like the cave had, but that's pretty obvious in terms of what it's trying to be. And also, it also fits in a little bit. It may be not to you, but for me, I'm kind of going for that, you know, traditional, you know, 1920s New York style zoo, or something like that. So, you know, trying to get something classic, but also, you know, colorful, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, but I think it actually turned out quite nice. The brick, I think looks really good, and if you go off into the distance, it works out. I think maybe we should take down the little spikes on top of that. Maybe that will make it look a little bit more friendly. But I think actually looks pretty good, and it's a nice lovely little reference back towards the front gate that uses brick, and we haven't used brick anytime else in the zoo so far, so I feel like it's a good time to bring that back. And it actually, it does actually look pretty good. This little thing right here, I was thinking of putting something like a statue or something, but I think I might switch that out for something else, like some sort of tree that would be sort of nether themed. And then hopefully we can, I think making the interior to this would be pretty easy. I mean, this entire exterior only took me like 15 minutes to build, so I mean to finish the remainder of the exterior and then to get here into the interior, since I already know what I'm doing, I think it would actually be rather quick that we can finish this. We can finish the entirety of that, and perhaps in the next episode we could get on to working on the pandas, or in some of the tundra. I do kind of want to get onto the tundra because that's the one place that I've not built enclosures for. But aside from that, I guess that's it for this video. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!